I do have stuff to add to the Aaron Rodgers, and I agree with you. Just like you said, the non-zero chance. There is a non-zero chance. I was told there's a non-zero chance, or a slight chance that Aaron Rodgers could end up in Pittsburgh, but it is not what others are reporting. And I hate to do stuff like this, but you have guys like Albert Breer today saying Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford are real contenders for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I from what I've been told, I don't know if I agree. I agree that is out there, that the possibility is there. But what I was told is this, that the Aaron Rodgers hype, quote unquote, is just that, hype. And that they do not believe currently that Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback that has shown that he's all in to go win a Super Bowl, that he's going to show up start to finish in the offseason and compete and be the guy that will lead this team wherever they want to go. That is not what they've seen over the last 2 years. And because of that, they don't have the interest in Aaron Rodgers. They view him as a guy that would probably not click with Mike Tomlin, who is all in, who is looking for guys who are going to show up start to finish and be 100% on board. Now, Ben Roethlisberger didn't always show up, but he showed up once in a while. But Ben Roethlisberger was pretty all in. Like Ben was a we are playing football guy. Aaron doesn't seem to have that same energy these days, and it's pretty known around the NFL. Now, the conversation ended with a source making it known that if Aaron made it known to them that he is fully committed and that he is fully in on being there start to finish and changing his mindset, that the Steelers would have to consider that situation. Didn't seem very likely. I was told that it's not very likely, that is just a disclaimer of a, we'll say no, but if Aaron shows up and says, I'm going to show up here March 1st and I'm not going to leave this building until February and we're going to win a Super Bowl, it's probably hard for any team to sit there and say, no, no, we're good. The Steelers included. I don't think that the Aaron Rodgers is realistic. I was told the hype is the hype and that they don't see it happening unless something changes. I mean, you want to talk about a non-zero chance. I think there's a barely a non-zero chance Aaron Rodgers is saying, I'll show up to OTAs. That's fine. I'll be there rookie workouts. Don't even worry about it. I'm there every day. No worries. I just don't think that's going to happen. Aaron and the Steelers betting favorites. Okay. Not going to happen. I think you already know that, but do you think that the disclaimer holds any ground?
I think there's a little bit to be had there simply because Aaron Rodgers was supposed to have a triumphant return from that Achilles injury in 2024. And he didn't. He got embarrassed. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL. In fact, they were worse with him than they were the year prior with Zach Wilson and whoever else snapped it up and strapped it up as quarterback. So I think there is a chance that he sits there and gets reinvigorated by this. But overall, the majority chance is that he's not going to change. I mean, he's 41 years old. How much are you going to change at the age of 41 with your thought process and how you see the game and how invigorated you are by the opportunity to go join a new franchise and try to run for a Super Bowl? I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to say that, hey, I've been doing this the same way my entire life. I'm going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I have a Super Bowl to my name. I am a 4-time NFL MVP. Why would I change what I'm doing right now? And I understand that there's arguments to be made on the contrary, but I think that the majority chance is that he's going to sit there and say, listen, I am what I am, take it or leave it, because that's who Aaron Rodgers has been pretty much his entire life.
Yeah. Look at, I don't disagree. The conversation that was had was a lot of it, and the way it ended was very different from the way it began and the whole thing through. The ending was just more of a, let's not let's not shoot ourselves in the foot here. Mm-hmm. The rest of it was very, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and nothing is going to change. And just like you said, maybe you do get reinvigorated and maybe that does change, but the way you'd have to walk into Pittsburgh and sit Mike Tomlin down and convince him that you are not just bullshitting right now, that would be more difficult, I think, than doing it itself, than actually making that change. I think convincing the team that you are that guy. Now, that being said, on the other side of this, Mike Tomlin is a sucker sometimes, and we both have it in our heads sitting there thinking Aaron Rodgers would dupe this guy. There's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers would be able to do that he would be able to somehow convince him that he's the right answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think that's, super, super realistic, but I'm not going to sit here and say Mike Tomlin isn't capable of falling for that and falling in love with the idea of Aaron Rodgers, and for the Pittsburgh Steelers to be headed into week 15 with everybody clearly knowing that the backup quarterback should be the starting quarterback and not making the change. We've been here too many times for that not to happen, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is on his way to the Steelers. They do not necessarily want him. And I also don't think you're going to, what is Aaron going to go for? Aaron's going for real money probably. And maybe not $40 million, but he's not getting a vet minimum. You're not signing Aaron Rodgers on a $10 million deal. You're paying $30 million for Aaron Rodgers, $35-40 million for Aaron Rodgers. That's never gonna happen in the city of Pittsburgh. It would have to be a wild amount of money. What is this? I think you're looking it up currently. What is his current contract?
Yeah, he has 1 year left on his current deal, $23.5 million cap hit.
That's not terrible. But you'd have to trade for him, and they're going to release him. So maybe you could get him for 23. That would be much more reasonable than I expect. I still, Justin Fields is the guy. And let's be very honest, it should remain the guy, and it will not and should not change.